Well, folks, you're all certainly welcome back to the channel tonight. I said I'd pop on to the podcast, have a chat with you. I haven't been on in a couple of weeks. I'm in the middle of moving house, so we have a lot to chat about. A lot to chat about in the next hour or so. I said I'll pop on and communicate with you and chat with you about the game, the weekend, this so-called transfer window, the lack of activity from Celtic, incomings, outgoings. It doesn't look like there's a lot happening at the moment, but we'll get our points across. I'll let a few people rant in the comments, and let's see going forward to a big game the weekend, the Todry against Aberdeen as well. So look at Facebook, YouTube, and X as well. We're live on tonight. So if you could jump onto the YouTube channel at the end of this, come on the Hoop Celtic, the same name, and subscribe. It's free of charge. Trying to get as much support there. That's the bread and butter for me at the end of the day. I want to get as much people on that and get me point across it, because I don't really come on to Facebook a lot and do lives all the time. Just don't have the appetite for it, is the way I used it. So tell us where you watch it from, tell us what the microphone sound is like, and tell us about the game the weekend as well, how you're feeling after that result. Even though it's 3 points in the bag, it's 6 straight wins in a row. We're still top of the table. Let me know in the comments as well, and let me know as well who you'd like to see Celtic offload if they can in the next couple of days, and who we should be going for, what type of position we should be at strengthening. Because look at the alarm bells are there over the weekend. It's been there since we got beaten by Hearts as well. Been there since we got beaten by Kilmarnock, dropping points to Motherwell at home. Teams like that's just not good enough. St. Johnson as well. It's just a very, very average season. I don't know. It's a transitional season going from Ange to Brendan. I've said this multiple times on the channel. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but there's money in the bank. And the board might argue and say we spent 20 million on bringing players in last summer, but that 20 million was Jota money. It's been Jota money. We got Champions League money there as well. And there's a lot to play for. It's not just the league. When you win the Scottish League, you get 3.5 million. There's 60 million quid to be played for in the Champions League, the revamp of the Champions League next season as well. So get the comments in. There's only been one so far, so let me know. Hola, Leo. ¿Cómo estás? Hope you're well. I hope you're being supporting your fellow comrade Lewis Palmer, even though he missed 2 penalties the weekend. But look at Lewis Palmer. You'll have to learn from them mistakes. He's done it a couple of times, and hopefully he will get there. So let me know if you can all hear me okay. If it's a bit of an echo, let me know. As I said, in the middle of switching houses at the moment, so internet is a bit funky. So Leo's in from Facebook. Good to see Leo's in. I know a few are watching the Super Scoreboard, whatever. Don't really care about them gobshites anyway. So yeah, let me know about the sound. So you can adjust the sound a bit. Just tone it down a little bit better for you. See if that's okay. No sound is good. That's good to hear. I don't know why no one's commenting. What are we waiting for? Either going to just sit there, get the comments and get the questions in. I was at the game the weekend, folks, and I have to say, I felt like a defeat. It's just, that we did get the 3 points. It's just the way we played, the manner of the game. We got the early goal. Alistair Johnson got the goal for us, and it's just, Bernardo obviously skinned the bar. We had the 2 penalties as well. It's not good enough. Like, where's Kyogo? Like, the guy is so hot and cold this season. It's concerning. It really is concerning, because I really love the guy and we all love him. But we need a bit of firepower up front. And I know we've been linked with Sidney Van Hooydonk, the son of Pierre Van Hooydonk, the 23-year-old, 6'2" striker that plays for Bologna, Dutch striker. There's been reports in Italy. Fabrizio Romero came out and said the other day that Bologna are interested in a loan move for him. Probably an obligation to buy as well after the loan move. But we need a bit of firepower in front. And I know people are like, no, Sydney, I wouldn't take this player. We don't have strikers. I'd rather have someone brought in the door that we have an option than having someone that we can't even give service to. We need to change the dynamic as well of the way the wingers are playing. the attacking midfielders, because yeah, Matt O'Reilly's on flying form, but my God, he was off it on Saturday. He was well off it Saturday. I thought Bernardo played actually pretty decent, but it's just there's concerns. There's concerns there, and I know like we're still top of the league, but we have two big games coming up, and that these two games could justify the season. As much as loads of football to play. Stephen says, "Tell me, Keith, who's to blame? The first team are ranked, B team are ranked, women's team are ranked." It's a bit harsh on the players, isn't it? It starts from the top down to the bottom, Stephen. At the end of the day, if you don't give your manager the right tools to bring in the right players that he identifies that would suit the system in the budget, within the spend spree of getting the right players in the door, Darren, we can get them a decent salary. It's the board. And I don't want to sound like very premature, blaming the board and everything. At the end of the day, there's money to be used. There's teams in this league that are spending money and bringing players through that are below us. And they may not be quality players, but they're still doing business. And all transfer windows are not all about making business. If you have a solid core players that are playing out of skin and playing exciting football, you don't need to change it. But clearly, we do need to change it because we're dropping points to St. Johnstone at home, skinning results against Ross County that are finished, that are actually 11th in the league. It's just not good enough. It really isn't good enough. And that defeat the Hearts in December, November when it was embarrassing, truly embarrassing. And that will stay in my brain. All these points will add up at the end of the season. And to your question, Stephen, it's the board, and Brendan has to take a bit of blame as well, as much as I don't want to be harsh on Brendan. He's trying to adapt the system, trying to play a certain style of football, which these players are still not used to, and he needs to get that skills, that experience that he has over the years to get the arm around these players, have a conversation, say, look, you've signed a long-term deal here, likes of O'Reilly, likes of Vickers, the likes of Callum, the likes of Kyogo, the likes of Maeda, Hatate. I know the lads are obviously on international duty. Yang has been an absolute flop. I don't rate Yang. I don't think Yang will be a player at Celtic, to be honest, which is what I've seen of him in all the games I watched him. He's had one or two all right games, But yeah. Hi, Keith. I think they've been a bit rusty after the break. But it's no excuses, man. At the end of the day, we're all saying, they're burned out and all this. Like, no excuses. No excuses. Top of the league. Top of the league. We should be smashing these teams that are bottom of the league, especially at home. If we're playing away, I could understand that. I completely understand that. These teams are coming to Celtic Park with a plan. Like, let Celtic have a lot of possession. Let them come at us. When it comes to the end, they get towards the last 15, 20 minutes of the game. They take their chances against us, and it's paid off for teams so far. Ross County were unfortunate not to score. And I don't like saying that, but they were unfortunate. Look at Joe Hart pulled off that save. We'll be looking back and getting players at the low links. Well, the way this is going, it's just like, what is the problem? What is the problem? Is it a case that the board are looking at too many players and they can't put the finger on one particular player? Are they just penny pinching? Or is it just a case that the players are not coming because we're not attracting them a certain element that they could progress in their career? I don't really know, because it's a fabulous club to play for. It's a fabulous stadium. There's trophies to be won. There's some really good players in that squad, and you don't get that fan affection like with certain other clubs as well. Like, you could go to a team in the Premier League and play for the likes of a Fulham or a Villa, and you won't be loved the way you are loved at Celtic. So, sometimes money talks as well. So I don't really know what's going on, folks. I will be doing a transfer deadline podcast on Thursday. So the window closes at 11:30 on Thursday night, the 1st of February, which is literally just around the corner. There's been talks of Laga Bielka. Laga Bielka is going to Lecce. It looks like that deal is about to be finalised. Sources Anthony Joseph of Sky Sports News. Basically, they're looking to get him on a loan. There's no obligation to buy. There's no permanent deal there. It looks like a loan move. And, at the end of the day, good staff, let him go out and get the minutes under the belt. You know, he has to think of himself as well because he's down the pecking order. He's not a part of Brendan's plans. It's obviously Scales, Vickers, Norowski, Welch, and then Bielka. Hopefully, no, I'm not going off now, Stephen. I'm just saying I'm going to do a podcast on Thursday night as well. Um, Hopefully, we'll see Kowabashi go. We'll see the likes of Chris go. Bearda Bay, I know Bearda Bay played all right, but it's not convincing to me. Like the left back situation is quite concerning with Taylor getting the calf injury as well. So Bearda Bay actually probably will stay because we were lacking in that position. So we'll see what happens. Boyogo's not getting any service. Palmer should have been subbed, but do we have a good enough court when we're foreign? But that's the thing is, Kenny, he's not getting the service, but there's something obviously going on. I don't know if it's the man management or it's the system as well. We all love Kyogo, let's be honest. The guy is an absolute, you could call him a cult hero because he's been a part of the club for the last 2.5 years and, you know, helps us win trebles. People might not label cult hero already, but, you know, coming in and giving us really good memories and stuff like that. But he just really needs to pull his socks up and start scoring, because if he doesn't start scoring, he's never going to ever get back into that Japanese squad again. He won't. And that's, you know, he's 29 now and probably get lucky to get another 2 or 3 years out of him. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens because I love the guy. But we need a different dynamic when it cars that comes to attacking. We need a big man up front. You know, I've said it so many times and time again, Kenny. The whole Yakamakis replacement, we never done. I thought, let's be honest, I've done a couple of videos and jumped on the bandwagon and said, I think O could be better than Yakamakis, but he hasn't lived up to it. And I know some people say that's a bit premature to compare strikers because they have different trades and pros and cons, but that's the style of football we were playing under Ange. And still, even regards to Brendan's style of football, we need that big man up front, you know. Dembele wasn't the most tallest man, but Big Musa could do a job. You know, he was good at holding the ball up. You know, Edward could do a job. He was tall, done a job. Just haven't replaced that aspect. But yeah, just keep the comments coming through, folks. If you can subscribe as well, it would be really appreciated on the YouTube channel. As I said, I'll come onto these podcasts on Facebook and Twitter, or X, you want to call it now, to get yous over. Wheel yous over. Lure yous into the YouTube podcast. Tell us where you are watching from, what town, what country, what city, whatever it is, and get the questions in. I'm just being honest, which is I don't think we're going to get a keeper before this window. Doesn't look like it. We're not even linked with any more keepers in the last 10 days. We were linked with Ipswich keeper. We were linked with the Icelandic keeper from Elfsborg, Vlad Marson. Nothing's happened there. So just a lack of ambition so far. I don't know if it's just a case, as I said, if it's a case that it's down to salary, down to terms, you know, obligation to buy. So regards to Matt O'Reilly, I know he's not going anywhere in this window, and there was a bid last week, a loan bid from Atletico Madrid. I can see him probably going in the summer because he's done what he can with Celtic. He's played Champions League. He's won a treble. You know, we got him for, you know, 3-odd million, less than 3-odd million, and, you know, a good bit of business. And we could probably sell him for 25 to 30 million in the summer, especially if he plays for Denmark in the Euros as well. So, yeah, get the comments in. The comments are quite slow tonight. So, 45 strong folk watching. Appreciate the support. Appreciate all the comments. Appreciate you tuning in. I know it's a Monday mood, and tell us how you're feeling after the weekend as well. As I said, I know it's a win and the points are up on the table, but at the same time, it's the way you conduct yourself on that pitch, and it wasn't good enough. Just wasn't good enough to most player standards, as some was saying there. Palmer should have been sub, but Brendan has faith in him. Hi, Jordan. I hope you're doing well. Great picture of obviously Scott Brown's last home game there. Where Scott Brown the very best as well in the Scottish Championship, and I hope he does well. And, you know, improves himself and gets himself up that managerial ladder. And the only way you do it is by success at whatever club you're managing, regardless if it's Air United or not. You never know what will happen with Scott Brown. He's there till 26 anyway. Greetings from Lisbon. Hope you're doing well up. County Antrim. Hope everything is well. Mr. Dublin Mick, thanks for tuning in. A regular subscriber there. Stevens, just what does Stephen say? Lawwell wants to sign a keeper that can play left back, score penalties, and it should be easy. Well, hopefully it'll be easy, to be honest. It doesn't look like at the moment we're going to get a keeper in, and it looks like as much as Joe has been a good servant to the club, but I've said it many times, you got to plan for the future. And yeah, he's an easy fix at the moment in some Celtic fans' eyes, but that anxiety when the ball comes back to him, it just freaks me out. It's like he takes attacking players for granted at times. It's like they're not going to press on him. That sharpness, you start to lose. He's 27 years of age and been around the club He's been around the club, what, 2.5 years now? And that's been a lot of games played in 2.5 years. And we all still have that anxiety when he gets the ball. He's been nearly sussed out a couple of times as well. Only for players scuffing it or hitting the post. But I don't know what's going to happen with Joe Hart. Don't know if they'll give him a new contract in the summer. I think we should give Liam Scales a new contract, new improved deal. He's been one of our standout players this season. We could see that he's on board and he's fighting to keep that short in that centre back position, even though Naroski's back as well. So we'll see what happens. Great news as well that we got Carter Vickers on a long-term deal, but will it be a long-term deal? Will he be around long enough? Or the club just doing that to bump it up the valuation? You never know. You really never know in football. It's a strange world. Thanks for the answer. Always not sharp enough. That's it. We do. I hope it's well down in Kent as well. Hope it's well down in Kent. So there's 31 years tuning in, numbers up and down, but that's fine. Just the time of the day is some people are sitting down having their dinner, having their grub, and that's grand. Will there be any more signings? Probably a better chance of the Euro Millions at this rate. So I've done a poll on Instagram. Today, literally 2 hours ago, right? And I asked the 25,500 followers that have look at the post. Will Celtic sign more players before this window, right? And now at the time, I put this up 2 hours ago, folks, and there's been 402 votes so far, and 79% of Celtic fans on my Instagram, come on to Hoop Celtic, if you haven't followed it, 79% have said no. And 21 have said yes. That just shows how confident we are with our board. That just shows how ambitious this board can be in this window. We have a treasure chest full of cash there. We have maybe used the cash in different ways of giving players new deals between the summer to now, plans to do up the training facilities and stuff like that. I can understand that. But we also made money from Starfelt sale, from Jota sale. People forget about that. So that odd 70 odd million, there is money still there to be used. And for me to feel like satisfied past deadline day in the next couple of days would be a goalkeeper, a left back, and a striker. Even if we get a striker and a left back, we can deal with Joe Hart until the end of the season. That's my verdict on the signing situation. How I'm feeling right now at this moment, Dublin Mick. Out of 10, how confident am I that we're going to get players in? I'd probably say a 4 out of 10. A 4 out of 10. There's going to be loads of names thrown in the mix in the next couple of days. Going to be thrown in, and there's going to be maybe panic loans and panic boys, and that's just Celtic sleeping at the wheel. Like if this was Ange in the door, and I know people need to say grow up, Ange's not here, we need to get away from this. You wouldn't have this. It's from the top down to the bottom. You do need that once. I take Shankland. Simple. I take him. I don't care. I don't care if 30 years say no. I don't care. I take Shanklin because he's a proven goal scorer this season and last season. And that's what you need. Some people are saying, oh, because he's this and he's that. I don't care. If you can come in and score in the big games and score in the league and help us win the title, you'll change his opinion quick enough, won't you? But I take Shanklin. I wouldn't pay more than 4 million for him though. That's the guy that's true. 28 years of age. I know he has European experience now, and he's scored in the likes of Ibrox, and he scored against Celtic and stuff like that. But look, why not? Take a gamble. You got to take a gamble. At the end of the day, if we don't take any gambles in this window, I think it'll hit us in the face. Full stop. So that's my verdict on Lauren Shanklin. You know, we may not be Celtic class, but it doesn't look like we're looking at anyone that's Celtic class at this rate. To be honest with you, so what's the point? What's the point of saying, "Oh, we don't want this player, we don't want that player"? At the end of the day, you can't judge the book until the book is open and we see what happens. Until we see what happens. At the end of the day, yes, he played for Hearts. Yes, they're probably overrated him, but he has scored in the big games for Hearts against Celtic. People need to remember that, you know. And I'd go with the 4 million, 4.5 million pushing. I'd sign him on a 2 year deal. Maybe 2 year deal, and then we can reevaluate our options in the summer, regards to maybe getting another striker in and clearing all out. Because what is Celtic class now? Well, that's the conversation. You say, are you gonna go back to the Gordon Strachan days where you bring Scottish players in from the league? Or you're going to go with Ange Postecoglou days where you recruit from the Asian market? Because Brendan Rodgers, it doesn't look like he's being vocal to the board. He's being vocal to the fans in press conference saying we need quality. What Celtic class is getting players in that actually are on form this season. That's what Celtic class is. And if they can step up to that level and score them goals, that's when you say that's Celtic class. That's my honest opinion on it. Like, there's no point of writing a player off there and then because saying, oh, they're not Celtic class. They haven't put the shirt on. They haven't scored. They haven't played a game yet. You might turn around and say, well, they're not that great for that club, maybe because they're a step down or the club is completely different from Celtic. Don't judge the book by the cover. I keep saying this. Some people didn't want Scott McDonald in, and Scott McDonald done the job, didn't he? So I would take Shanklin. I would. I had this conversation with my uncle the other day. I don't expect my uncle to turn around and say, nah, not a chance. And he's like, Keith, I'll take him. Proven goal scorer. And I had a chat with a guy who was sitting beside the other day, and he said the same thing. I would take Shanklin. And I goes, well, the opinion's actually starting to turn, because maybe realise that maybe we've been too laxy daisy. Maybe some people would rather Shanklin because instead of the Aberdeen guy. The Aberdeen guy is younger. I think he's only 24. But we'll see what happens. Ange has proven how poor scouting and recruitment itself. Oh, he's doing all the scouting and recruitment the 4-6 months at Celtic. It just shows that it's a job for the boys. I don't care. At the end of the day, I just say it how it is. I feel how I feel. I'm not going to change my opinion to suit others in this podcast to agree to have everyone on the same terms. I feel like it's a family-run business, and we're not getting the best out of these people that are at the top. Simple as that. Peter Lawwell has been around a long time at Celtic, a long time. He knows the ins and outs of this business, and he knows what it takes to win leagues. He knows what it takes to win trebles. And quite frankly, we've lost some embarrassing games this season. And what you do is, if you really, really believe Brendan Rodgers is the man, regardless if it was Dermot Desmond that called the shot on it, or Michael Nicholson, or whoever it was, you back him. You back him. You give him what he needs to do to bring success. And clearly, being out of the League Cup against Kilmarnock was embarrassing. Getting beaten by Kilmarnock in the league was embarrassing. Dropping points to St. Johnstone was like a defeat. Dropping points to Motherwell was like a defeat at Celtic Park. I've said this already on the YouTube channel tonight, folks, and I'll say this again. It reminds me of Ronnie Doyle's fourth season. It reminds me of that season. The football wasn't comprehensive. There was some really bad games in there, and I'm just hoping we can turn the corner with this. Yes, as I said, six wins in a row. Some fans and are watching this might not care that there's not players being brought in. You might just feel like it's just steady. Oh, it's a steady ship. It's okay. Keep we all have our bumps and bruises. Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. As I said, why we going for the winger? Why did we bring a winger? And look at I wish Nicholas Khan the very best. Why did we not push that money for a left back? Why did we not push that position? Why did we not put 3.5 million into a goalkeeper? You know, just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't make sense, folks. Honestly. I hope you are getting in what I'm saying. Like we shouldn't be in this 100%. It's not even it's would I call it stressful? I would call it uncomfortable. I would call it uncomfortable position because at the end of the day, Mick, we should be like the mentality we had the last two January windows where business was done early, picked one or two players halfway through that window, and we were happy. We were sailing. We didn't have to worry about getting players in the last minute, getting players out. We were happy, and it looks like it's becoming an absolute nightmare to get players out the door. Never mind in the door. Mikey Johnson's meant to be going to West Brom on loan, so let him go on loan. It means that Cohen has to come in. There's been three loan bids for the Alabama, Watford, West Brom, Southampton. They're being all rejected. There's been interest from French clubs and German clubs for the Alabama. The Alabama signed a new deal before this whole conflict happened, and I'm a big fan of the Alabama. I think he brings a different level to the game, and he's on form, and he's been a really good player for us. But we see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised he goes out at the last minute. I really would not be surprised. That's the way the transfer window goes. Money talks in football, and we obviously don't want to see Liel leave, but he's on a long term deal. But that's just putting valuation up. That's all. That's what long term deals mean in football. It's something to do with that a player's going to fulfill his full contract and stay there to that long. 9 out of 10 players leave before that. So unless you're being obviously brought through the youth system and it's a childhood club and you're willing to go all the way, like a Jamesy Forrest, like a Callum McGregor, and this is what happens. It's a business, folks. It's a business. I feels like Brendan and Lawwell are again. What you mean, broken relationship, or is it going to be another Ollie Bork or Jeremy Tojang, Timo Weah? Timo Weah's flying for Juventus, but you don't know what's happening. John McGinn, good point, was Celtic class, but they weren't willing to pay the extra $500,000 for John McGinn, and look at John's doing well for Aston Villa, and nice guy, an absolute nice guy. Just that's what it is in football, isn't it? Unfortunately, it really is. So, folks, under that bar there, there's the socials. There's the X channel, Come on the Hoop Cell. There's the Facebook channel. We have over 68,000 followers. A massive thank you to everyone that's been supporting me since 2011. A massive thank you as well to our other admin, Holly Differ. Holly is a top class girl. She's worked her socks off to get post stuff is and some really good moments as well. So Holly needs a tap in the back as well. A massive thank you as well to our admins over the years as well. Some really good people I've given the privilege to post stuff up, and massive thanks to them. Only for them we wouldn't be here. So I don't forget about people that have been there and done it. So need to go take care. Of course, Stephen, you take care of yourself. I'll hopefully see you back on Thursday. But folks, pop onto the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel, please. All I'm asking is subscribe. The only way this channel will go up is use pressing that red and white button. If you already do subscribe, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart as well. But back to Mark's back to Mark Boyd's point. I 100% agree with you, Mark. I feel like he's being sold a broken bone, to be honest. That's to be honest with you. I just feel like is there relationship declining between Rodgers and Lawwell? Was Lawwell not keen to taking Brendan back, and Desmond just said no, I want him back? Was it a case that we should have went for Knudsen? It's all this what if maybe stuff, it does give you the vibes of a COVID season because you don't know what the background, the silence we're getting, the silence, that's the best way to say it. But even with the performances, very, very average. The only difference is with the COVID season and this season is, you know, Brendan was calling out for the players. Lenny wasn't calling out for the quality. Lenny stuck by his word and stuck by what he believed. He was getting backed. And I love Lenny. I've met Lenny a couple of times, and it was just unfortunate. Lenny, the way it all ended with Lenny. And look at, I'm gonna say it out straight. Neil Lennon's a Celtic legend, and I think people need to build a bridge and get over that season as much as it hurts. Think about what he did achieve. Don't think about what he didn't achieve. Think about what he did achieve as a player, as a captain, as a manager, as a coach. Think about that stuff. Think about the good times, not the bad times. And Brendan should be a short-term manager. Probably will be a short-term manager. I think if he doesn't get the backing in this window, and you know, we just and he's not getting the reinsurances in the summer, and I'm not clearing out dead wood, he'll probably jump ship. I don't blame him. As much as I hate saying that, I don't blame him. I've talked to a few people about this over the weekend, and they're all kind of on the same line of saying, you know what, has he been missold this deal? Yeah, he's pocketing 3 million a year on the contract, but at the same time, there's no point of having a good salary in a job if you're not happy. You know, you want to be in a job where everyone's on board. That's from top down to bottom, and I'm sure majority of the players are on board. But it could all go pear shaped, folks. Feels like Brendan Rodgers last season, 100% it does. It just feels like the appetite is not there from the manager, from some players, from the board, and that's to be honest with you. And I don't want to keep blaming everyone, but as I said, we're still top of the league. It could all change in the next two games. Aberdeen and Hibs away. You know, I could see Brendan going somewhere. Well, that's the saying. The next 4 days are very crucial for Brendan Rodgers' Celtic managerial career, because at the end of the day, if he is the Brendan Rodgers label as he says he is, and he's the guy that's being very vocal in post-match reactions, do the talking to Peter Lawwell, do the talking to Dermot Desmond. At the end of the day, we're not just going to be throwing away a league if we flop this, or throwing away a 60 million revenue from Champions League money. How's it going, Craig? I hope you're doing well. It's a business we can get. The full exactly. We don't want to be giving him. It is a business. At the end of the day, the fans pump money into season tickets. Fans pump money into going to games week in and week out. Pump money into merchandise. Pump money into see their boys home and away. And a bit of the reward side is adding quality. We hit the peak with Ange and winning the treble, really good football, over 100 goals, blah blah blah, season, and you want to maintain that in some aspect. And what maintain it is, yet they've done the retention side of keeping key players, but it's getting the quality in as well. There's no point of us going into the Champions League next season, or even the Europa League, and getting spanked, because Europa League is a difficult tournament to play in, or difficult competition, you want to call it, to play in. And I certainly don't want to be sitting there next year if we scrape this league and we're in the Champions League, buzzing for the group stage. We got this team, and we're getting spanked. So what I mean by quality is actually going out and spending maybe 7 million, 8 million. Kind of like the voice that Ange had when we went out and got Jota and Carter Vickers. We were actually ambitious, because we go back to that before that window. I was like, oh, gladly take Vickers off of Jota, and we got both. Get Piers, big Piers boy is a no-brainer. Some people are against Piers Van Hooydonk's from Sydney. I want them in. Simple as that. I take Shanklin or I take him. Simple as that. He's done well in Eredivisie. Yes, he hasn't cut the sauce at Bologna in Serie A. He's only played equivalent of 398 minutes of football. He's only scored one goal, and that was in the Coppa Italia. He was left out the side against AC Milan. They signed a new striker. They want to offload him on loan. I completely understand where some Celtic fans are coming from. They're thinking of the form, and I'm going back to the Lawrence Shankland form. But I think this could revive Sidney Van Hooijdonk. We need that physicality up front as well. So I'm hands in. If we get Shankland or Sidney Van Hooijdonk, I'll be more satisfied than what we have currently now, because at the moment we don't have that, that striking options. As I said, he's not bad as a super sub at times, but we need someone that can come in and take the scruff of the neck. And I think Sydney would probably suit Scottish football. As I said, he's done it in Eredivisie, and that's where Giacomakis done it as well. And that's where big Jan van Gaard Hesseling done it as well, didn't he? So let's see, and also where Henrik done it as well. Henrik done it in a Feyenoord in Eredivisie, but we did get Dirk Boyita from there, and then it was an absolute disaster. But people leaving early on Saturday tells you. Well, I didn't leave early. I stayed to the end. Some people leave early because they obviously buses to go to, and there's other reasons behind that as well. But the bill at full time just shows the indication that fans are not happy with the board, and there's concern there. There is concern. 100%. Just give me a second now. How much would they want for Shankland? They're probably going to be looking for about 5 million. They're claiming that Crystal Palace are interested, Everton are interested. I don't think Everton will be interested while there's financial fair play malarkey going on. I don't know how accurate it is. There's been talk of Brentford being interested in them as well. What's sickling for me is they knew they had the money and January was coming up and they could have done stuff early. Because that's the mentality. That's because they think that you can just, silence Brendan and go their own way and be stubborn about it. And this is what we're leading to. We shouldn't be sitting here. I shouldn't be sitting here on the 29th of January having a moan about the board and lack of players. And I should be sitting here buzzing, talking about Aberdeen on Saturday, talking about the performance against Ross County in maybe a 3 or 4-0 manner. But I'm not. And that's the reality of it. But it's a good point. It is a good point. We are in annoyance. I hope, yeah, me too. So yeah, it's been 37 minutes. Not either. I'm not fussy. They're both around the same goal tally this season. The only difference is Bojan's younger. He's like 4 years younger than Lawrence Shankland. So I'm not fussy. I'll be honest with you. I'm not fussy. I would take Lawrence Shankland on a 2 or 3 year deal max. Bojan will probably go in for a 4 or 5 year deal with him. So yeah, see what happens. Cloud out the flu, folks. Bringing in another son. But that's it. You need to have that competition. Like maybe Kyogo just thinks that he's the top dog, and he, there's no other competition there as well. You need to have players on their toes fighting for the position as well. So yeah, situation where the board have been boiling for years. It has been, like, we knew. I think a lot of fans felt like that when Peter came back in, and from banker, and just feel like it's going on that route. And I think I was like, what, we'd be fine. We have Ange there, and then when Ange left, I was just like, what, maybe we are going back to this whole penny pinching business again. So hopefully we'll fall. But that's the question. That's what I'm going to ask is right now. How many points do you think we will win the league? Hey, Key, just hopping on to say I hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. I'm in the middle of moving house at the moment, so that's why the content's quite slow. Sometimes I just need a break. It's exhausting trying to do this stuff while you have other stuff going on. As I said, this is not my full-time job, just a hobby, folks, and it's a very, very exciting hobby. I love talking about Celtic. I love engaging with you. I love giving my point across, and I'm blessed. I have really good people that watch me and give me that confidence to do these videos. It's good. And at the end of the day, as I said, this is not about ego. This is not about I know this or you know that. This is all about being a part of a family, an institution that we all want the same thing: success. You have to buy success in football these days. You might get through young players that will nurture and that will come through the youth system, like Callum, like Tierney, like Jamesy, like Ralston, and bring success. But you also need to bring leaders in and have the attributes in the squad of leaders and players that can come on and take the game with a scruff of the neck. And at the moment, it's concerns there. So Neil Lennon for the Irish job. Yeah, look, as far as I know, Lee Carsey's turned it down. Chris Hughton's obviously that they're having a bit of a turmoil with Ghana. Roy Keane, I think Roy Keane, no, I don't want Roy Keane near the Ireland job. Roy Keane's been out of management too long. I know he's been walked around with Paul Lambert at Villa and Martin O'Neill in the Ireland setup. No, wouldn't touch Roy Keane. The guy's a Manchester United legend, Ireland legend and all. I say he's a Celtic legend. He played with us for 6 months, but he had some decent games for us. That cracking goal against Falkirk. No, I wouldn't touch Roy Keane, to be honest with you. People might say, oh, you might go in and shake it up. Roy Keane is that my way or highway. You break a relationship and there's no going back. You've seen the situation what happened with Jonathan Walters and stuff. It's different with clubs to club. I like to see Lenny come in. I think part-time football would suit him. It means he can pick up some develop as well. But the FAI are considering having a manager that's based in Ireland with shambles. We're not gonna there is some players decent in the League of Ireland coming through, but no, most of them play in England, the Ireland squads. So a lot of tricky games coming up. I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit worried as well. I'm worried about Hibs, to be honest. I'm worried about Aberdeen the weekend. I always am. I don't go into these with feet up saying 4 or 5-0 Celtic. Like some fans are living in cuckoo land, some fans still think it's cuckoo land anyway. Totally agree with you. We require a target man, and we think we could do it. That's it. Like love the fish, by the way. Always take far too long to make signs regards to this. On it like a car bonnet tonight. Right Panther. No. I live in Glasgow, so when I get to games, I get to the games. I go home most weekends to Dublin, so um, yeah, I go home most weekends to Dublin. My kids are more important than the football club, and that's the way it's gonna be, folks. Family first. Hail from the Celtic from Dublin. Good stuff. Good stuff, Vincent. Hope you're well. Kane can't take the fact that the players aren't good as he was. I think Roy Keane doesn't realise the landscape of football has changed. Good pundit. Don't get me wrong, he's a good pundit, but I still feel like he lives in that era of Patrick Vieira, himself, Gerrard, Lampard. I still think he lives in that era that players can do this and do that. The whole landscape has changed. The sport's starting to change. The tactics have changed. Footballers are not as hard nailed as they once were. And let's be honest, there's none of them Bobo Baldes out there anymore, So see what happens. So Barry's asking me, is Cindy Van Hooydonk coming in or what? So the situation with Cindy Van Hooydonk, Barry, is Bologna are willing to take a loan offer from him. There's 3 other clubs that are interested in him at the moment, 2 in Holland and 1 in Germany. And he wasn't a part of the Bologna squad. He hasn't really part of many Bologna squads this season. So let's see what happens. I'm not going to speculate any more on it. Actions speak louder than words. There's no point in me putting up clickbait videos saying he's in the door, he's coming, medical done. I'd rather be honest and tell you the truth. So yeah, that's all I know so far. There's a chance that Laga Bielka will be going to Lecce of Serie A. I think they're around 14th in the league. Can't play Front. Shouldn't be explored that. Don't even want to think about Kun. I know he's obviously in the door, and I want him to thrive at Celtic. We all want players, but I want to think of getting other positions strengthened. I know you're saying you could play him up front, Tommy, but come on. We need more of a tall physical player. He's not a tall physical player. He's looking like he's built like a stick, and that's the God honest truth. He's pace, yeah, but like, come on, we need someone that's a big man. He's only, as far as I know, he's only 5'7". So there've been so many rumors about players back and forth in January. Now it's not. That's how it happens. Like, I do sit there at the start of January and I'm looking forward to making these videos and talk about all these players. And let's be honest, probably 1 out of 10, these players come in the door, or 2 out of 10, and these players come in. And at the end of the day, it's been very, very boring and bland. It's been Desperate. Desperate. On the pitch, off the pitch, in the stands, vlogging now, it's been desperate. You know, I feel like in my heart, we're the second place team because of the performances this season. And I know you might think that's very premature, but folks, them gobshites across the pond or crossing Govan are actually making signings. What are we doing? We're sitting there smoking Cuban cigars thinking that the world's going to be okay. Wake up and smell the coffee. You know, wake up and smell the coffee. Neil Lennon spotted milking points in Dublin on Saturday, straight to the bookies. I met Neil Lennon on the plane. Well, just before Christmas, had a good chat with him. I didn't bring up the Ireland job, I didn't want to bring that up, He was in the queue. We chatting to him for a few minutes. Nice guy, Al Lenny. But sticking on it. I said it a couple of months ago, Lenny we get the Ireland job, Barry, I agree with you. 6'3", physicality, poacher, hold up, winning free kicks. That's what we're missing. We need that kind of Yakamakis style of player, as you want to call it. Seems like to be a consistent thing with us bringing in small build strikers. Yeah, because it's all about pace. It's all about sports science. It's all about this, getting pacing and trying to use on the flanks, this 4-3-3 system. That's what it is. We all miss him. We all miss him. Flat and poor, 100%, Thomas. So, folks, there's 54 years tuning in tonight. YouTube channel, please get on it. Come on, the Hoop Celtic, exact same name. Please subscribe. It's free of charge. If you want to join the membership for 99 pence, go ahead, join the membership. No one's putting a gun to your head. No one's chasing you to join any membership. If I'm getting an extra level of support from you, it will be welcome. Simple as that. It will be welcome, I'm really happy what I have at the moment. Oh yeah. Lack of ambition. It's the easiest way to say it, Mark. It's just a lack of ambition. It's, as I said, is a case that we're not attracting these players in a certain way, that we're giving them this lucrative offer. We're giving them this 60,000 seat stadium. We're giving them European football next season if they're here for next season. What is going on? Where is the relationship broken? Are we identifying players early and it's falling down to shit? What is happening? What is actually happening? We're sleeping at the wheel. So, folks, this is the best example. There. I know that's Neil Lennon and all that, but there's gonna be another one. There's gonna be another one of these banners put up soon. So yeah, I do love this picture. It's my favorite picture. Glasgow or Dublin. I love this one as well. I'm everywhere tonight. I'm all over the place. I'll be like this on Thursday night. One place I won't be is at Dens Park. The place is an absolute shack. So yeah. Let's see. No, there hasn't been any talk of West Brom's keeper. We were obviously linked with Kilmarnock's long keeper, and that didn't work out. We've been linked with Vladdy Marson of Elsborg. We've been linked with loads of keepers, but Angus Gunn, never happened. Yeah, the 3 bids were rejected for about it. Watford, Southampton, and West Brom. Would you let Matt O'Reilly go and bring in the big money? No. He's been he's probably been our best player this season. Let him go in the summer. No. There's no point changing that. No. He's been scoring as much goals than Kyogo, Probably more than Kyogo. I'm not one of these people that checks stats all the time. I'm sorry. I'm not one of them Celtic vloggers that sits there and fair play to the lads that do the stats and stuff. I don't have the time for that malarkey. Keep it short and simple. Keith, I've seen something on X about a Japanese left back from Mauricio Marmaro. Well, I haven't been on X, to be honest. I haven't been on X today, but I will look at it, Barry. If there's a bit more acceleration on this so-called Japanese left back from West Brom, I'll be on it like a car bonnet. I'll be putting a video up. Kelleher's not going to happen. Let's look at whoever thinks we're getting Peavy and Kelleher in the door. You need to step away from that glue. at the table because he's overpriced. He's 25 years of age. Yeah, he's been at Liverpool, it was it 6, 7 years now, and he's won a lot with Liverpool. And being number two to Alisson, it takes a lot. But no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Do we need a left back? Of 100%, we need a left back. Taylor's burnt out. Taylor's not the answer for European. He's not European left back. He's domestic left back at his best. No, I'd be moving. I wouldn't say move Taylor on. I'd have him as a number two. We go out and spend 5 to 6 million on a decent left back, someone that actually has a bit of spine to them. You know, not afraid to take players on, especially in Europe as well. I do hope Taylor gets into the Scotland squad for the Euros. Nah, can't, man. I'm bogged down with the flu enough. Can't be going to Celtic Park on Thursday night. What's the point? There's probably going to be no one coming out that door anyway. Probably no one coming in and coming out that door anyway. So at this rate, the way that we're all feeling optimistic about this, we're going backwards. As I said, I feel like we're the second class. I feel like we're the second. I'm not going to get Banzulu. Definitely not. He's a good keeper. Southampton. I would actually want to mind Mark Travers, to be honest. You know, I'd take Newcastle's keeper, not Pope, not Karius, the other guy, Javotka, whatever, I can't even pronounce his name. I wouldn't mind taking him. A Celtic wouldn't be a bad show. I know we were linked with a Newcastle player earlier on, and Eddie Howe just shot it down. Would you take a new right back? Nah. Alistair Johnson will come good, folks. I don't know why so many heat on Alistair Johnson. No, that goal will do him a bit of confidence. No, maybe for replacing Ralston. I know Ralston's on a long-term deal. Put Ralston down the pecking order. Fabianski, no, he's too old. He's old as Joe Hart now. Yeah, exactly. There's no point. We're not going to lose Matt O'Reilly in this window, folks, unless it's actually money that comes in. Like, I mean, 30 million, 35 million, but the chances of that it's not going to happen. So, that, you know. Yeah. Oh, come on. Come on. Is that the level we're going to? Maidstone? No. You want to have a keeper that we signed from Maidstone. I know Matt O'Reilly, we signed from MBK Dons. You want to have a player from Maidstone playing in potentially the Champions League or the Europa League next season? Celtic number one? No. I believe in bigger. And what I mean believe in bigger is like getting someone that's maybe 4 or 5 million stature keeper. I'd rather have the Elfsport keeper, you know? No. Jesus. Is it getting that bad that we're looking at Barnet keepers and, you know, Mark Travers, I just said Mark Travers, you know, not a bad keeper. He said I could say a name, you know. No, folks, I wouldn't be. That's just desperation there, you know. Because you play the FA Cup game, or whatever. No, good luck. I like Johnson. So nah, he won't protest at Celtic Park on Thursday. Definitely not. 100%. That's not going to happen. There's definitely going to be no protests. I wouldn't urge protest on a Thursday night. Let's have this faith in the club that they're going to bring players in. No chance. I think I'd rather have Joe Hart and go, okay, you see the amount of mistakes he's made this season? But he was a cracking keeper for Inter Milan, cracking keeper for Ajax, but not a chance. Not a chance. We'll see what happens, folks. Though, as I said, Thursday night I will be on. I might go live about 10 o'clock till 11:30. Or I might be 10:30 till 11:30 or 12 o'clock. It just depends on how the day is warming up, what's happening, if there's any development, if there's any activity going on. Might be a quiet few days. We're hoping that's not going to be. I will be on Thursday night live as well, so I hope he's all tune in on Thursday night if he's can and support me. It'd be appreciated. You know, there's going to be I'm sure there'll be a couple of Celtic podcasts on for transfer deadline day. I won't be wearing that yellow tie anyway. Don't you worry. So unfortunate. I don't want to even talk about it. Oh, and I'm like, at the end of the day, we need to be talking about realistic options here. I'm not gonna talk about a keeper that's on mad money at Manchester United, you know. Anthony, you've been talking about Maidstone keepers, you've been talking about Butland off them. I'm starting to question it. Like, do you really support Celtic Bud? Get Butland off them. Not like, let's be realistic here. There's having a banter and then there's just, you know, madness. Madness. I know you're right having a bit of banter. But yeah. Angus Gunn would be a good show. Angus Gunn, yeah, definitely off Norwich. He's not a bad keeper. I think he'd do a job for Celtic. I know some people still have the critics out of Angus Gunn and stuff like that. Some people feel like he shouldn't be Scotland's number one, but I like Angus Gunn. I like him. So yeah, see what happens. I don't know. Travers has been at Bournemouth. It was 4 or 5 years, even more, longer than that. I think he's been at them a good few years. That's it. I think we need to play for a miracle at this rate because, as I said, this is what could happen. Best case scenario is we get a couple of players in, maybe loan positions, or maybe we get 3 players in the door or 2 players in the door, and we win the weekend. Or the worst case scenario is we lose points to Aberdeen, we lose points to Hibs, and then the season is flipped upside down, and then we're going to be chasing angels. Could happen. We all certainly don't want to hear them words. We've won the 2 derbies, and for making errors to like St. Johnston and Kilmarnock, and you don't want to be dropping points there in Bataudry or Easter Road. More like we probably will be dropping points. It just annoys me that they can go to Easter Road and beat them 4-0, and then we go there and we always draw. Brendan shits with his tactics at Easter Road every time. I think it's going to be, as I said, I think we'll wait for the summer for that to happen. Yeah, as I said, it could all flip. It could all change. It all change if we drop more points. The only thing Angus Gunn is 29. Check now. Could be wrong. Angus Gunn. He's 28. 28 he is. He's 28. He's only actually gone 28 as well. So yeah, there you go. There you go. I thought he was 30. I don't know what made me think he. Yeah, so Lawwell never left. Probably did never leave. He's probably pulling the strings from far distance. That's what I'm saying. Dvorak wouldn't be a bad keeper. I think they have Pope. Newcastle, once Pope comes back, he's been solid for them until he picked up that injury against United. I think Pope Pope is already Newcastle's number one. It's just once he comes back from injury, he'll be back in them nets as number one. I think Dvorak won't be a bad show. I think it will be in our price range as well. I think we could get him for about maybe 6 million or so. Let me check what ages he is. Let's see. He is, he's 25. Jesus Christ, I didn't know he's 25. 2 years younger than Joe Hart. No, probably not. No, that wasn't said a bad. I don't know. It wasn't said that was a bad show, but I didn't realize he's 25. There's no, a year or two. We're going back to the same thing with Joe Hart. We saw Joe Hart at 24. No, I'll write him off. To be honest with you. Yeah, no, write him off. We need a keeper that we can give him years under the belt and get him in his best years, and give him that experience, and maybe could sell him in the future as well. That's the business deal of Celtic. So yeah, David Seaman and probably still do a job, to be honest. Take Arthur Borage back. He wants to come out of retirement at this rate. So folks, I'm gonna leave it there tonight. Absolutely starving. I haven't even jumped on. I haven't even had my dinner yet. Making videos since I get finished work for you. Um, probably will go to. You probably go to Inter Milan. To be honest, Anthony, in the summer. But I want to jump off. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has tuned in from Facebook, from X, from most of all YouTube, and please press that F and subscribe button, free of charge, free of charge. Appreciate it. Appreciate if you could do it, folks. I know he was on loan at Man United last year. Um, Thanks very much for the love heart as well. Free of charge to subscribe. Let's get this to 18,000 subs as soon as possible. As I said, there's a lot of phenomenal Celtic channels out there, really good Celtic channels, but a lot of them won't speak the truth about certain aspects of the club. And I speak how I feel. As a fan, I speak how I feel. I'm not going to change my opinion because one or two people have a different opinion in this channel. As I said, well, it is what it is. I will be doing more daily content the next couple of days, but my next live is on Thursday, transfer deadline day. The window closes at 11:30 on Thursday night. So let's effing hope that Lawwell, Nicholson, Dermot Desmond, Brendan Rodgers all all just take it serious. Take it actually serious that the club, the fans want a few players in. You know, you know, we do need a holy goalie, another holy goalie. You know, but please tune in. Tune in on Thursday, the live podcast. As I said, it'll probably be 10:30, 10 o'clock. Get the popcorn out, get the microwave popcorn on, get the kettle on, get the cans out, you know, because we're in for a roller coaster for the last hour or two. It just depends on what's coming in. And what I'd recommend is keep an eye on Anthony Joseph as well. Anthony Joseph works for Sky Sports. He always breaks the Celtic connections and the Celtic transfer news. So he's a good guy to watch. I shall speak to you all soon. Good night and God bless, folks. Take care. Hell.